in variable, the concept of variables via CLI. Now we'll see variable definition files. Um, so in the lab, we have seen how we have created dev underscore env.tfvars file. Then we passed on the values inside that file. Some concepts, okay, these variable definition files are auto-loaded. What are those definition files which gets auto-loaded? So if you are keeping your values inside this file when you create terraform.tfvars and you keep your variable key value values inside this, these get auto-loaded. Terraform.tfvars gets auto-loaded. Terraform.tfvars.json, asterisk.auto.tfvars, asterisk.auto.tfvars.json. So these are the 4 different files which get auto-loaded. But if you have declared your values in a different other definition files, then you have to pass it along with the command which you are running. Like here, Terraform space plan hyphen var hyphen file. Then I am giving my file name dev underscore env.tfvars. And the extension of this file is tfvars, where you mention your variable values. Okay, and here the flag is hyphen var hyphen file. To that you will pass your path of your file. These 4 will get auto downloaded. If you are declaring the values in a different file, tfvars file, then you have to pass it along like this. But if you are using any of these, you can directly run like the auto loaded one, tfvars or JSON or auto.tfvars or any of these 4. Then you can directly run Terraform plan and Terraform apply. So that will work. But if you are keeping if you have declared your variables in a different tfvars file, then you have to pass it along and run the commands like this. This is for plan, Terraform plan hyphen var hyphen file equal to this, Terraform apply hyphen var hyphen file equal to this, Terraform destroy like this. So conclusion, if you provide a tfvar.tfvars file or use a default variable definition file, Terraform uses values from those files without prompting. If you provide a .tfvars file or use a default variable definition file, Terraform uses values from those files without prompting. The next method, uh, this one also we did the lab, environment variables. Terraform can also read variables from your environment. So if it is a bash, Mac OS or Linux, then you have to declare the environment variables like this. If it is a PowerShell, then you have to declare your environment variables like this and run it. Okay, then you can directly run Terraform plan or Terraform apply, which we just saw. In conclusion, if you set environment variables prefixes with tf underscore var underscore, Terraform uses these for variable values and does not prompt for inputs. So here you see in both these in both the lines where we are declaring the environment variables, it is starting like this tf underscore var underscore. This is also tf underscore var underscore. This is the actual key, RG name, and RG location is the actual key, and this is the value of that variable. So this is how we declared the environment variables in PowerShell and this in Linux or Bash or Mac OS. Then we have seen different methods, variable definition. So which will take precedence? What is the order? So I have declared all the 6. Like here you see hyphen var or hyphen var hyphen file, the CLI method. We have seen both the labs. Then or in the second type, any dot auto dot tfvars or star dot auto dot tfvars dot JSON file in lexical order. So basically any of these, the order is like this. First it will pick hyphen var or hyphen var file, then this one in a lexical order. Lexical order is nothing but a dictionary order. Like how in dictionary it will be alphabetical order, right? The first letter alphabetical order, second letter also in the alphabetical order, third also alphabetical order. So that is a lexical order. And third is terraform.tfvars.json. It will pick the third one. Then the fourth is terraform.tfvars file. Fifth is environment variables. Sixth is the default argument of the variable block. So it will pick the variables in this order if all the six are declared. So that is the precedence order. And this is an interview question. People will ask what is the order Terraform will pick the variable values. And you need to tell, okay, it will pick from the CLI first, then auto.tfvars or auto.tfvars.json. Then the third is tfvars.json, terraform.tfvars.json. Then fourth is terraform.tfvars, fifth environment variable, sixth default arguments. So this should be the answer. And some people they ask tricky like you have declared environment variables and you have declared default arguments. Which one will it pick first? Which one it will pick? So default and environment variables you have declared. Environment variables and default are declared. Then it will be picking environment variables. The other way around, they will ask you have mentioned terraform.tfvars and you have kept the prod values into prod-env.tfvars file and you are passing that to var file. Which one will be picked? From tfvars file, terraform.tfvars file, or the one which you are passing from the CLI? The answer is from the CLI. So this is the precedence order. Some other interview questions so this variable block, right? Here, what is the difference between sensitive and ephemeral? In this variable block, these are the different arguments we'll be able to pass. So what is the difference between sensitive and ephemeral? So the answer should be ephemeral. This ephemeral argument makes a variable available during runtime. This argument makes a variable available during runtime, but Terraform omits ephemeral values from state and plan files. Terraform omits ephemeral values from state and plan files. Ephemeral argument is useful for values that only exist temporary, such as a short-lived token or session identifier. Token or secret keys which are getting generated over the runtime. Those will be saved and it will omit the state and plan. It will omit the values inside the state and plan files. That is ephemeral. Whereas sensitive argument prevents a Terraform from showing a variable block values in CLI output. It prevents the value to be a value to show it on a CLI output. You can use that variable in your configuration, like the user passwords are like that. It won't show in the CLI outputs. So that is the difference. And next, the last topic of the day, Terraform variable types with examples. So this is one part, like this one. We are now seeing that. So this is important to understand what are different variable types. Terraform supports these variable types. The first one is string, second number, third is boolean, fourth list, fifth set, sixth map, seventh object, eighth tuple, ninth is any. We'll see one by one now. The first one, string variable. Here we have Azure region example. And the variable is Azure region and type is string. You can pass a default value as East US. It holds plain text values like names, IDs, or paths. Used when input must be a string text value. So here it must be a string text value. If you see the Azure regions are like East US, West US, Southeast Asia, West Asia, or like that, Europe. So those are just strings and there are no numbers in it. So it makes sure we are passing a string to that. The second type is a number variable. Azure VM count is example. Here, number of Azure VMs we are passing. The type is number and default is 2. Represent numeric values, integer or float, useful for counts, sizes, threshold ports. And here, uh, the count is a number. Okay. So now that this is a VM count, I cannot pass a string to this, like apple. I cannot pass, if I give apple or anything, it won't create the VMs. It will fail. It needs number. How many VMs you want? Two, four, or five, whatever it is. Pass the number. It will go ahead and create those many number of VMs. So that's the reason we declare this type as a number. Okay, and next is a Boolean variable, enables Azure diagnostic. Here, enable diagnostic and type is given as Boolean. Default is true. When it's declared true as a default, that means here diagnostics is enabled and it will capture the logs. If I give false here, it won't capture the logs. So the expected value is either true or false here. Use it for feature flags or conditional logic. Example true to enable login. The next fourth one is a list variable, list of Azure subnets. Here in this example, the type is a list of strings, and the default value is subnet. App subnet is given, DB subnet, web subnet is given here. And this is a list, and it is like an array. Ordered collection of values. It contains ordered collection of values used when multiple items are expected in sequence. Used when multiple items are expected in sequence. And example here is East US, West US. So this is another example. 4.1 is a set variable. This is a 4 I said list variable, and this is a set variable. So these are little same. The only thing you see here in this example, Azure tags is given, environment tags. Type is set string, and it is the default value is dev, backend dev. It is similar to list but unordered. This is unordered and does not allow duplicate values. It does not allow duplicate values. Here is in this example, you see dev is a duplicate. It won't allow that. Good for unique tag collection. Example is the same one. So it is good for unique tag collection. For a tag, we need different values, unique values, a dev, backend, like that, owner, or cost center, like that. Unique values are needed. It won't allow the duplicates. In that case, we use a set variable. Next is a map variable. Tags for Azure resources. Here, type is a map and a string. Default is this. Here, this is like a hash table. Map is like a hash table. You will have the key values. The environment name is key, then value is dev, project key, and value billing hyphen app, owner is key, and cloud hyphen team is the value. It is a key value dictionary useful for central track inputs or structured settings. Example is given, the same one which is above. Sixth is an object variable, Azure storage account configuration. You see here. So I'm declaring the keys here and the default values are declared here. The key is account underscore type and it is a type string. And the second one is a type string and third one is a Boolean. And the default value is the standard for the first one and LRS for the second one and third one is a Boolean true. So this is how you declare a object. Collection of named attributes with defined types, ideal for complex structured configuration. Example, account tire and this one. Ideal for complex structured configuration, and it allows multiple types inside that. Like string and Boolean is allowed here. And it can allow numbers and other things also. Tuple is little different, but uh, we need to understand that it will allow the mixed Azure inputs as well. And type is tuple, string, number. So tuple fixed length, it is a fixed length ordered values. Each position can have a different type. So each position, the first position is string, second position is string, third is a number. So this will allow that. And we need to pass the same values similar to that. The first we should pass string, then second is string, third is a number. So this is about tuple. And the last one is any type. This is flexible input type. We use it when, especially when the sensitivity is true. And it allows accepts any type, string, number, list, map, etc. Good when flexibility is required. Often used for secrets or dynamic inputs. Example, marking as sensitive for secret inputs. So when you declare a variable and you don't define type, it will take as the type as any. It's by default. This is about the any type, and so these are the different types of variable types, and we have seen all of them. So today what we have covered what is variables, what is declaration, variable declaration, what is variable assignment, variable types. Okay, variable assignments we have seen. Inside variable assignments we have seen passing variables via CLI, variable definition files, environment variables. We have seen the variable definition precedence order. We have seen variable declaration. Inside variable declaration, we have seen what are the different arguments it will allow for a variable block. So we have covered all these topics today mentioned here, all related to variables. Tomorrow we'll be covering outputs and locals. That's it for the day. Thank you.